Hey guys, so today I wanted to take you through some basic mobility. Mobility is really the foundations of flexibility, keeping our joints moving and lubricated. I've been a professional circus artist for the last 4 years, and mobility is something we do very regularly to keep all of our joints moving and healthy. And this is something you can come back to every day. Let's get into it. So we can start on the floor, and you can sit in any comfortable position you like. You can sit on your knees, you can sit cross-legged, you could sit up on a pillow if you needed a bit more space in your hips. And I'm just going to start with some really basic shoulder rolls, going up, back, down, and around. And we're going to do 10 of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to go back the other way. We're going to go up and around, down, front, back, and really squeezing our shoulder blades together at the back as well. And this is really just going to warm up our shoulders a little bit and get those nice and lubricated. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to do some bigger shoulder rolls. So I'm going to start with my elbows together, and I'm going to go up and around and down. And we're going to do the same. We're going to do 10 of these backwards and then 10 of these forwards. And breathing deeply. And creating as much space as we can. 9, 10, and then we're going to go back the other way, coming forward and breathing really nice and deeply. And then we're going to get onto our neck. This is such a good way to help with headaches. So we're just going to go around and do a big circle with our necks. We're going to do 10 of these too. So that's 4. And then we're going to go back the other way and we're going to do another 10. So 1, 9, 10. And then we're going to pull our neck all the way down, and we're just going to kind of loosen up the back of our neck and just do some little head shakes. And then we can kind of hold our chest down and we can stretch out the front of our neck, looking either side. And then we're going to reach our hand out and then pull our right hand down, head going towards the right. And then we can do some little nods here too. And then reaching the same on the other side, reaching out with your right hand and pulling down with your left hand, doing some nice nods. And then we're going to get into our wrists. So we're just going to do little circles with our wrists, doing some both directions, and then we're going to do some nice little waves in one direction and the other directions and give our wrists a really nice stretch. This is something that's so important. We use our hands every day, and it's something we really shouldn't ignore. Giving our hands a bit of a flick, giving them a bit of a shake, shaking up here, releasing some of that lymphatic acid down, giving it a bit of a shake, and then giving out just big shoulder rolls. Cool. And then we can come up to our feet. So downwards dog is such a great one for us to stretch out our backs, our shoulders, It's a really basic pose that most people should be doing every day. It's really good to get that blood rushing to your head. It's really good for stretching out the back of your legs. So come into any way you want. I'm going to come down through a forward fold and flick the little spider off there. And then I'm just going to start pedaling out the feet and holding in the belly nice and strong, pushing out through the shoulders, pushing through all of the 10 knuckles, pressing through those fingertips and just really stretching out the back of those legs. And just keep pedaling through. And then we can do the same with both of our feet, stretching them back. And this is just going to help create a little bit of mobility in the back of our legs. And then we're going to place our left foot down the middle, and then we're going to bend our knee, and we're just going to start doing some nice hip rolls. So we'll do them outwards first. We're going to do 10 of these. Don't worry about getting them super big. If you do want to straighten your leg, you can, but since we're just warming up, this will be plenty. 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to go back the other way. And then breathing really deeply. And if you get a little bit tired at all, just have a little sit down, have a little break. This exercise is probably going to be the one that gets our heart rate up the most. And then swapping legs here. Doing some nice ones to the outside. And if you can only do 5 of these, that is totally fine. And then going back the other way and just having a rest anytime you need. Cool, and then we're going to come down and just have a little rest in child's pose. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to come up to our knees, and we're going to create a bit of space in our hips. So we're just going to come to more of a 90-90 and tuck our pelvis under. So we're going to get a really nice stretch through here, and we're just going to kind of come in and out, flexing that foot as we come up. You might need a wall, or you can have some blocks either side. And this is just going to start opening up our hips and our hamstrings. We're going to do 10 of these. And then 10. And then we're going to come down with our hands, and we're just going to pull up our back leg a little bit. And this is just going to stretch out this a little bit more. And then we can do some little side to side motions and stretching backwards. And then coming down, and we'll repeat that on the other side. Coming through downwards dog or child's pose. And then we can come through and lift our opposite leg up. And then we can tuck our pelvis under and then do some stretches forward and back. You can put your hand on your knee for stability. And stretching through our hip and through our hamstring. And then coming down, hands in between the foot. You can kind of turn that foot outwards a little bit if you want and move it out. And then we can pull that back leg up a little bit. Just stretching more through our hip. And that's also going to help strengthen our hamstring as well. And then we can lean back a little bit, having a little twist. If you want, you can also push that knee out to open up through the hip more, creating a little bit more space in your inner thigh. And coming back, and then coming back through child's pose or downwards dog. And that should be feeling a lot more looser now. Give your legs a little shake, give your hips a little wiggle. Keep walking those feet out. And then we're going to come through and we're going to stretch out our hips a little bit more. So we're going to come into a butterfly pose. We're going to start with our feet right off the mat or on the carpet. You want to have a larger diamond shape here. And we're just going to kind of lean forward a little bit by pushing our knees out and making sure we get our back as straight as possible. If you're up here, no worries. If you're up here, no worries. Just trying to open those hips out the further you get down. And just leaning forward. If you can put your head into your feet, that's nice. And doing a little wobble, doing a little side to side motion here. And then we're going to bring our feet inwards closer to our groin area. We can sit up that a little bit more, and then we can sit up as high as we can, and then we can lean forward here as well. Do a little wobble, and this is just going to open deeper into our hips here. Breathing deeply. We can do a little butterfly motion if that feels good. And then if you want to stay in this position, you can. If you would prefer to go to cross-legged, if that's a little bit more comfy, you can do that one. But I'm just going to stay in this little butterfly pose. I'm going to put my right hand down and I'm going to lean all the way over and stretch out the side of my body. Put my hand a little bit further back, twist open up my chest area, and you can do a little bit of a rotation here. If that feels good to you, if it feels better just to stay in the same position, you can do that also. And then we'll swap over, leaning to the opposite side, opening our chest out, doing a couple little rolls forward and backwards, really leaning into what feels right to you. Leaning over, and then we can come to lay on our back. We're going to come into our backs now. We're just going to loosen it up. We're going to do some twists. We're going to do a few bridges. So come down on your back, and we can lift up the right leg and we can twist it over, looking to the opposite side. And then we can come and swap it to the other side. You can move your hips over if you would like, twisting them to the opposite side. And coming over, twisting. And then we can swap that out a few more times. Breathing deeply through these. And then swapping back over to the other side. Then we're going to come through some roll up. So we're just going to roll up through our spine, onto our shoulders, and roll down, rolling up through our spine, onto our shoulders, and back down. And then we're going to just rock and roll up our spines. And this is just going to help loosen and give our back a little bit of a massage. You can kind of cradle in like a ball. You can go back into a bit more of a pike, rocking and rolling back and forth, loosening up our body. And then we can finish in a bit of a pike position. We can flex our feet and lean forward. You might only be here. You might be able to come all the way down. Just feel what's comfortable to you. Eventually, the more you do these stretches, the more flexible you'll be able to get. Pushing out through our feet a little bit, pulling our feet back, pushing our feet forward. And then we'll bring our left leg in, come to more of a straddle kind of position. And we're just going to flex our feet a little bit, flex and point, and do some nice rotations of our foot. Flex, point, rotate the opposite way. And really strengthening through the back of your leg when you're doing this, really lifting it up, pushing your knee to the ground, lifting your foot off the ground, point, flex. If you need a little bit of assistance with your foot, you can push it down a little bit. You can pull it back a little bit. If you need to come further in, that's fine. If you want to open out more, you totally can, depending on where your flexibility takes you. And then we're going to swap to the other side, and we're just going to flex point, do some little circles in one direction, do some circles in the other direction, really strengthening out the back of your leg, lifting your foot off the ground, even if it can just get a millimeter off the ground, and flexing and pointing. Give that a nice little bit of a rotation. And then I'm going to finish off with this really lovely upper body one as well, and this is just going to help finish us off for the day and get us really nice and mobile through our shoulders. We're just going to start, and we're just going to do a little twist, and you're going to really feel it crunching through the side of your shoulders there. At least I do, but this is such a nice way to help with our cartilage. And then we can have a little stretch up through our back and put our hands together. Good job, guys. So you can come back to this anytime you want. Make sure you comment if you enjoyed this and you want more mobility and flexibility. I can extend on this. I can do something more simple. Let me know. Make sure you follow my other videos and like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.